Next is from Variety, where producer Amy Pascal of the Spider-Man movies was saying that a live-action Miles Morales movie is in the works, along with an animated Spider-Woman movie. And on top of that, she did state that a fourth Spider-Man movie within the MCU from Tom Holland and Zendaya is still in the works. Or at least I imagine it's going to be in the MCU, since I'm pretty sure that deal between them and Marvel Disney is still in effect. But there aren't many details beyond that, just those notes I mentioned. What do you think, Al?
I'll also add, I saw an interview with Tom Holland as he's promoting his Apple TV show or movie, whatever it is. And he was asked about Spider-Man and Spider-Verse, and he said that he thinks that the first Spider-Verse movie is the best Spider-Man movie ever made, is what Tom Holland said. And he said he was supposed to be Amy Pascal's date to the premiere of Across the Spider-Verse, and he had to go to work and promote his movie, so he couldn't be there, but he was really excited to see it. And then he said, on top of that, I would be a fool to say no if they want to continue my story. And if they continue to make it, and we are reinventing the character, and we are working towards goals, and we are not just getting stale, he said he'd be a fool not to do it. So I think Tom's going to be playing this role, Hugh Jackman style, for a long, long time. But in terms of a live-action Miles Morales, well, actually, first I'll talk about Spider-Woman movie. I think that's great. I think a Spider-Woman movie is a great decision. I think that they can go really hard off of that with Madam Web. I think Madam Web is actually going to be a very, very nice, pleasant surprise, and I'm hoping it will be. I love all the talent involved. So I think a movie like a Spider-Girl movie or Spider-Woman movie could work very well. For Miles Morales, I also think that could work very well. And I've seen a lot of people already say, all right, well, now that we're getting this live-action Miles Morales, how will it fit into the MCU? How can we bring him in? And I say,
what's
pish
the
posh
plan?
to that. I say, let's not do that. I think Sony would be very, very smart to let Tom continue to be Spider-Man in the MCU, get those checks from there, let them use Tom as much as they want, and then start a completely separate universe with Miles Morales. I know fans were hoping they were going to do a Spider-Man 3 with Andrew Garfield and pull him back in after all that stuff. And to be honest, if that happened, I'm not necessarily opposed, but I just think it's the wrong move financially. And I think if you're Sony and you're looking at the fact that clearly fans are not confused by like Venom being in its own thing. Honestly, I'm more confused when Venom suddenly is in the MCU and then not. So I don't think
that was
fans,
a fun few seconds, wasn't it?
I don't think fans are going to be confused with two Spider-Men running around. They're not going to be confused with two Batman running around, which is probably what we're going to get. So I think that the studios are seeing that. I think Amy Pascal, for all her faults, all her leaked emails, is also very smart. And I think going Spider-Woman and Miles Morales is a very, very smart move. Keep it completely separate. Let people make their own really unique, awesome movies. And I think this could work very well. I do not think it would be smart to, with these Across the Spider-Verse movies, get that Miles Morales and have him like land in live action and then he stays in live action. I think that is very much a bad move. Yeah. At least if somehow they reach an agreement, I saw somebody saying that they wanted that to happen, but that he would be in the MCU. And then we would get that Miles Morales in the MCU. That, I'm a little slightly more like I could see that work, but I think they would be fools to do any of this. Let Spider-Man Across Spider-Verse be how great it is. And then get a young unknown. Do what you did with Tom Holland. Get a young unknown actor to come in and play Miles and start this new wave of Spider-Man. I think it would be amazing. Anyway, I've ranted here. Your thoughts?
I'll start off with the Spider-Woman movie, whichever version it is, because they don't specify, so I don't know if it's going to be Spider-Gwen and Haley Steinfeld returns to voice the character, or if they do a completely different version of Spider-Woman, sure, why not? I'm on board. As long as you make the animation interesting, I would be curious about the talent attached. Like, I'm on board. I have no qualms with that. I give it a big thumbs up. The news about a fourth Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland and Zendaya, I give a big thumbs up too, and a big no duh. I think with how all three of these Spider-Man movies have been able to make so much money and have been a really great inclusion for the MCU, I think it only makes sense between not only Disney and Marvel, but also Sony to be able to continue this deal because it's working out very well for everybody. I did see some people on Twitter complaining. I don't think it's a vocal majority or anything like that, but I did see them complain about hearing that Zendaya is also coming back or in talks of coming back, that they're afraid that this is going to retcon and ruin everything that happened with the ending of No Way Home, to which I say, let's not worry about that and just see what they do, because we don't even know in what capacity.
That doesn't make any sense.
We just don't know, like, we don't know what the story is. Like, all they're saying is that these big name actors are in talks. Like, of course they want Zendaya to come back for this movie. So I thought that those comments were a bit silly, and I'm not worried about, like, how she's included at all, because I just have no bearing on what the story is. None of us
That doesn't even make sense. Like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. If Zendaya comes back, how is she going to... She forgot who Peter Parker was. For who Peter Parker is. All the Avengers can still be with Spider-Man. They remember that they have battled with Spider-Man. Zendaya knows that Spider-Man has saved her. She just doesn't know he's Peter. That can happen. You can have interactions. They can re-meet. I think a little love triangle. You throw a little Gwen Stacy, a little college years in there. Ooh.
Yeah,
there we go. There we go.
I completely agree. I think without any... there wasn't even information what the story's about within this story. They're just saying, hey, these top big name actors are coming back to our franchise. Like, of course they're gonna come back, guys.
They're also dating in real life. They're madly in love. And we really don't want that chemistry. We don't want that anymore.
Yeah, let's get rid of that.
People are idiots.
Anyway, I'll talk about Miles Morales now. Yeah, I think obviously there should be a live-action movie for Miles Morales. I don't know whether it needs to happen immediately or if it's going to be in the near future, in a few years down the road after the Spider-Verse movies are all wrapped up. Who knows? But I do think that it's about time that he does get his own standalone movies. And honestly, I don't really give a rip on whether he's in the MCU or not. I think it's a little annoying that people channel their excitement towards thinking about what the plan will be in terms of how he's included in the MCU, rather than just being excited that a Miles Morales live-action movie could happen. It's amazing that this character that got reintroduced in the got introduced in the 10s has been able to have this big boom now with the Spider-Verse movies. It's almost reminding me of Miles's popularity in the way that Wally West's version of The Flash became popular in the 2000s. Like, when people first watched the animated Justice League show, they first met the Flash character for the first time, and they just assumed that was the first Flash. I know that I was included in that camp until discovering that Barry Allen or Jay Garrick, however you want to put it in terms of timelines, that they were the first Flashes. But that's just the Flash that they grew up with and they grew up knowing the most. Now we're getting that with Miles Morales as Spider-Man, only to, like, a huger degree. Like, younger generations are probably going to know of Miles as Spider-Man more than Peter Parker compared to past generations, which I think is crazy cool to see and witness. And the fact that we're seeing that this excitement for this character is turning not just into, like, a beloved animated character, but also a live-action character, that's a super big deal. So I'm really excited to see what becomes of that movie. I don't care, like I said, if it's in the MCU or not. Honestly, I think what you were saying made sense, Alex, to where you can have Tom Holland be in one corner while Sony can do whatever they want with Miles Morales as Spider-Man, because they already want to do that with their D tier list Spider-Man characters anyway. Why not just have Venom and Miles Morales fight each other? Why do we... Again, like, I don't care either way. I'm just saying that Sony probably would want to do that. So, wherever that goes in live action terms, I'm just happy that this character is having the big boom that he really is having.
Same. All right, what's next on the docket here?